vertical fights I've been to.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Welcome back to LOOT.BET CS. We're into map 2 between PACT versus Fate. If you're just joining us, then you missed out on PACT's clutch map win over on Vertigo. Their own map pick going their way at 16-14. And via a Ninja Defuse as well. A lot of momentum kicking up for them going into Dust 2, the map pick of Fate. Dweg, let's talk a little bit about that last map and what we're hoping to see transfer into this one, because whilst, you know, it was a bit of an odd map to see them coming into the coming in with the Inferno pick, Dust 2 I think most certainly could be a very winnable map for Fate.
Yeah, look, I think it should be, at least, and I think we certainly should be going to the third map of the series. Well, one thing that we saw on Vertigo was, honestly, it seemed like both teams, once they lost that opening pick, they just couldn't do anything with it. So I'm hoping, especially on a map like Dust 2, it's a lot easier to recover once you've lost an early man advantage. But one thing for me is that it's like, okay, you've got to get off to a good start, got to get some momentum and just hit shots. I mean, we saw both teams hitting some pretty nice shots. It really did come down to the wire on Vertigo. So there's certainly a chance here for PACT to 2-0, but I would expect that we should see Fate being able to pick up Dust 2.
Well, I mean, the thing is, obviously, is that, you know, Dust 2 is a map that you obviously favour, like, in terms of just firepower, like, you know, the team that has the better firepower overall. And Fate have had some pretty good results on this map in the past, you know. Like, it's not like Vertigo where it's like, okay, well, both teams don't play it that much, they don't have a very good win rate on it, they don't have a very good basis on it. It's like a surprise pick there from the Fate camp. PACT have had some pretty good results in recent times, you know. They've obviously beat Hellraisers in one of the Swiss system, you know, in one of the Swiss matches here in LOOT.BET. They had an overtime loss to them a little bit earlier on. They also lost to Skade, very, very close as well, another one of their Bulgarian brothers. Dignitas also went to double digits against them as well. You know, so like, they've already had like a number of decent results in recent couple of months, and including that Hellraisers sort of, you know, that Hellraisers rivalry, which has led them just to trade this map back and forth between those two teams. So, you know, like Fate have got a lot of great results on this one versus PACT, who have only really played it like about 10 times in the last few months, and not many of them have been against really notable sort of squads.
And one thing to kind of take into consideration on that first map is we saw Sobel putting up a massive performance. He ended up going 34-18, but even with the amount of kills that he had, he wasn't as if he was getting like 3K, 4Ks round after round. He was just very consistent. He was finding pretty much a kill almost every single round, sometimes finding 2 or 3 here and there. And, well, that's really what PACT need. They need a player that's consistently fragging well, especially on a map like Dust 2.
Yeah, they did have some pretty consistent fraggers for my money. You know, I mean, I think it was one of the mention that something you mentioned back in the break before after we went off, is that Sobel had 34 kills by the end of Vertigo. So he had a really, really good map all in all. I mean, you know, he didn't even die that many times. He died about as many times as his teammates did. About 34-18 is his KD. So that's amazing, to say the least, for Sobel, and certainly will be one of the guys that we're leaning on, I think, for the PACT side to show up overall. My main concern for that is that obviously he was the main guy that was stepping up in total for this team, because whilst he did have well over a 30 bomb by the end of round 30, his teammates were still sitting around 17, 16, 20 kills at best. So like, he was very clearly like, you know, stand up and stand out sort of element for that team.
That's a really good point, is the fact that, like, maybe it's a bit of a one-show army in the sense that it's like, okay, you had one player that had a pretty good performance, but where was the rest of you guys? And, I mean, maybe it comes down to the map. Maybe we can have a bit of a different affair on Dust 2, but certainly going forward, we need to have more than just one individual that's going to be able to put up big numbers on the scoreboard. And when you talk about some of the kills, especially for the PACT side, you look over at Fate, it was very close for a lot of the players. Like, there wasn't that one player that was even close to a 30 bomb, wasn't a player that was really clutching out on a consistent basis. It seemed like it was very average across the board for the Fate side.
Yeah, and most certainly that certainly came to fruition when they were on their weaker halves. You know, the fact that they were kind of just looking like they struggled a little bit against some of the firepower bases of the PACT camp, and you know, as you mentioned, average is the best way to describe it. So here we go, the pistol round getting ready to go live. Fate will be on the CT start. Now, in terms of their win percentages on these two halves, they're relatively similar. So I'm not sure which one. I mean, obviously T-side in terms of the firepower, but we'll find out whether or not that's a bit the case in reality. T-side for PACT is certainly their favoured half, so let's see whether they can make this happen. Fast execute in towards the B-bomb side with the flashbangs over the pistols coming out. Patrick here with his USP. Nicky backed up here outside the new B doors. Patrick can get that opening kill. Will get overwhelmed with the numbers game of the PACT camp. The bomb is on site. CT, they're still close, but Darko deals with Nicky. Block comes up with a good kill. Sobel tapping his way on through. Will be unable to get the player on towards the window area. Darko continuing to challenge Blocker here with his raid boss P250. Taps up. Han will take down Goofy. Drop that bomb. They burst in, and now the distraction is coming through. It's all left to Sobel. 1 versus 3, and Fate with a fantastic retake will kick things off on the CT half.
What I love there from Fate is the fact that they're on a 3-on-4 disadvantage. Now, rather than just playing passive and letting the bomb go down and retaking the site, they just rush in completely, and it takes PACT completely off guard. Blocker's able to sell a bit of a fake around the upper tunnels, trying to deal with one of the players and pull a bit of a distraction away. Now, Fate actually bring back a huge disadvantage over that B-bomb site. You could not get any quicker for the T side. That was a straight B rush coming out for the PACT side. Well, Jay. Fate. I'm going to start things off on the right foot, and, well, it's only going to be up against Glock. So, really, this should be a pretty easy cleanup in round number 2 for the CTs.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, there's going to be an eco to get themselves back into to contention, as you would expect at this kind of a level. The players out towards that short position, the pistols on the FAMAS, watching out for whatever they can. Burst up with the M4, it's Blocker that gets that opening kill. Mara towards the position here on long. They do get themselves a bomb plant, and for them, that's actually a pretty decent eco. Almost a secondary kill on Mar, which would have dropped even more out of that, but for the most part, the main weapons will stay in play. And it will be a second round on the board for Fate. Again, not a bad eco for PACT to drop all the drop the 2 players that they did. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to get that FAMAS out towards that CT cross, so they do lose one of the rifles here. All right, so that actually makes it subliminally a little bit better right now for the T side.
I'll tell you what, it's actually huge that they get a bomb plan out for PACT. I'm not really sure how Fate allowed that to come through. It was kind of like a retake setup at that A-bomb site. They didn't actually have anyone on the site to try and defend. And for PACT, I mean, that's an absolute gift. If they didn't get that bomb plan in, they would not have been able to get that AWP out for Moniz. And certainly the T side have got a much better buy over the Fate squad. Look at how many CTs are grouped up around long, at least trying to take that early control. They are at least going to fall back, leaving a single player of Blocker alone. And I tell you what, this is going to be a long rotation from a second player out to the B-bomb side to try and help out Patrick if the execution comes through. This is the triple tower to get the boost to look over the smoke through the upper tunnels.
No one's going to be seen here. Fate are leaving 1 player off on that passive corner. There's Patrick in that door area. AWP not going to be seen. The Molotov will come out, try to force him out of position. They realise what might be going on here. Indeed, he swings. Indeed, he will get the opening kill. So 1 MP9 dropped. Blocker will find Goofy, though. We'll find a response out on the other side of the map. So the Lurker is taken out to a 4 versus 4. But Blocker on 19 HP means that overall, PACT went out a HP advantage.
So far, PACT had at least been able to take down a single B defender, and what that does is kind of siphons up the rotations a little bit. They kind of split the defensive at 2 at B, 2 at A. Now, one thing to certainly keep an eye out is the lack of utility here coming out for the Fate squad once this execution comes through. Looks like it's going to be the short commitment to come out from PACT, and, well, for Fate, they don't have any info at the moment.
Yeah, very quiet across the board from PACT. This rotation will now only start to show its teeth here as the smokes coming in towards this short area will come out. Smokes down as well to extinguish the flames. A lot of damage done to Darko. Mar's actually going to be able to take him down in the midst of the smoke. So, frags to find. Flashes coming over. Mar keeping his eyes on against Sobel. We'll see his head as he crosses out position. Blocker with the M4 against Sobel. That's an AK headshot to a 3-on-3. And a bomb plant out on the short position. Moniz with the AWP spotted out by the SMG. 1 kill comes in from Nicky. Han going to round that corner. Look for Lunatic next up. Good frag back now. It's a 1 versus 2 for Moniz. Still left with 8 HP. Flashes on. No Molotov to put onto the bomb site itself. You have to take contact directly. And Cindy is going to force him back. He's got no chance of this when they can stick the defuse. He's got no way to peek up. This will be a 3rd on the board for Fate.
Yeah, look, Moniz, if you maybe had a little bit more HP, could have tried to aggress through that molly, but yeah, no chance there. Has to just try and save onto that AWP. And Well, what was a great start in the round was a great recovery from Fate, and I tell you what, it was just too slow coming out from PACT. We saw that they set themselves up for the execution. I think the bomb went down with just about 1 second left on the clock. A 3-0 start coming out from Fate. Now, with PACT at least being able to get a bomb plant in that last round, Jay, will at least allow another gun round to come through.
Now the buy-ups coming back in from the PACT camp, the AKs, the AWP. Utility out across the entire T-side board. Nades in against Goofy, will try to force him back. On top of the boxes here inside that long house. Ready for anyone to aggress, really. That's what the whole setup is there for the T-side forces. Fate will not go so far as to push in. They're actually going to receive PACT on short. The AWP will focus up, get a good kill on Darko. Again, kicking things off for the CT side.
A great opening coming out from Fate. Just the jiggle peek coming out from Han, turning away from the flash, re-peeking on the second kill, and finding that opener. Now, PACT, they're in a bit of an awkward position. They can try and split this A bomb site. They've got a lurk coming out from 2 players out towards long, making sure they get the silent boost out by having a teammate drop down for Goofy. Now, there are 3 players here for the Fate side around this A bomb site. Time is incredibly low so far coming out from PACT. They know the pit players here, but do they know the AWP's on the corner?
Getting taken out anyway by Sobel. Goofy comes up with a kill. It's all left Damar now on the bomb site. Takes out 1 frag. 2 players left for PACT. 20 seconds to the clock. They're all facing towards the crossbar. Gets 2 and 3 for the 4K overall. And a stellar A defensive on Fate. 4-0 for the CT side.
Okay, this is looking really promising at the moment coming out from Fate. Looking very good in this first half. Getting off to a great start. Great momentum's coming through and a lot of confidence. Amar on that side, he could have just played a little bit more passive. He could have played around sort of like the second boxes and kind of just waited for the teammates to arrive. But he tries to aggress. He tries to take the fight, realizes how important it is if he wins that out. And well, for PACT, it's going to be the upgraded pistols, all stacked up through the upper tunnels. Could try and set themselves up for a B execution. There is a lot of utility to work with.
M4s, the AKs. Patrick gets himself 1 kill. Mar finds a quick frag of his own right. They will drop Patrick, but Nicky coming up with 2 good kills. Didn't order solo next up. Last man to fall. AK will get recovered for the CT side, so they keep that main weapon in check. 5-0 for the Fate start. Looking very similar to how PACT did on their CT side of the first map. Will PACT be able to turn the situation around like Fate did? However, they've got a buy up. The AWP in from the knees once again. The full sets of utility across most players. Max lost bonus investment here. PACT will need to come up good with a round here.
PACT.
Oh,
ooh, that's the opening they need, Jay.
That's beautiful. Beautiful stuff there from Maniz. Look how quick Darko's going to take the mid control for it as well. M4 up for it. Takes a trade back to a 4-on-4 scenario though. Nades in, expecting more T-side presence around the corner. Look at how Sober's going to make his way in past the smoke. Patrick's going to be ready for it, though. Good kill. Lunatic going to try and find the trade back because they've lost the man advantage now. Pat worked so hard for that. Leg shot from Han does not quite connect towards Goofy. Amar expecting T-side presence. Lunatic is going to try to bait him in to get overly aggressive into this mid area. As soon as he gets that kill, they can converge in on the B bomb site. The rotation towards A has been cut off by the top mid control. Lunatic spotted. Mar will take him down. Goofy and Maniz down. Last 2 players left in the tunnels area, and the CTs are racketing their way in. Good challenge on Maniz, tacked him to low HP, and from here, both of the T-side players are so susceptible to trades. That nade, in fact, will end off Goofy's life.
Oh my, I don't like how fast that aggression comes up after finding that opening pick. It doesn't seem necessary, right? You've got that 5-on-4, work the default, make sure you're trying to get the mistakes to come out for Fate. And well, for PACT, they go, okay, we got to pick over towards mid. Let's just try and see if we can find another one and hit B quickly out for the mid to B split from Darko. And there was just 1v1 Angels. We saw Darko swinging out from mid, then we saw a player of Sobel, I think it was Sobel that was swinging out from the upper tunnels out towards B alone. And it's like for PACT, where is the team play? They're just taking 1v1 Angels and Fate winning them out. They're now 6-0. There's no bomb plant that come out from the T side. This is an abysmal start on T.
Yeah, 6-0 for the first pause to come in from the PACT camp. And again, like this is just Decimation on the part of Fate. Simple stuff coming through. And again, as you mentioned, just overly aggressive. It's kind of what gave Fate the upper hand when it came to their turnaround in the first half of the last map. You know, the fact that PACT kept aggressing and overextending in certain cases. And I mean, I know it's a little bit of an oxymoron to say that overextending on T side, but, you know, as you mentioned, just so aggressive towards that mid phase. And that's kind of what costed them an advantage. Even though Fate did lose quite a lot in that last round, they end up with the round victory, and that's the most important thing. The half by coming out from PACT as well as their own economy has been wrecked. Unless they can come up with the Deagle headshots, this will be a 7-0 start for Fate. M4's in for Nikki. AWP of Han knows that there is a ton of T-side presence out here towards short. Drops that first player, looks in for the second flick, can't quite find it. Ma will get overwhelmed, but the AWP is still alive and kicking. Finds himself too goofy, drives back to a 3-on-3, but making it 2 now for the T-side as Blocker takes him out all the same. 2 players coming in from long and short. The CTs know what's up. Blocker will get tagged up. Darko will take him down. Nikki turns on to leave 1 player left alive, and they've done a fair amount of damage here on this half buy, but ideally they needed the round win or a bomb plant. Ideally the win, and well, Fate will not allow that at all. AWP recovered 2K to the name of Nikki and 7-0
It's
for Fate.
amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Man, this is really scary. I mean, even in that round, they did some really good damage, but you're right, not even the bomb plan. I mean, they will be able to at least force the investment through, considering the money line's being built up with this max round loss bonus. Fast out towards long, this could be the opportunity, Jake. They find that opening pick. Oh, Darko! What? Okay. Well, that's what they need.
2 good frags. Nikki also low. Up in for Han, and Need's going to land the AWP shot in from short, and Han will just barely connect towards it. Lone man standing on the A site, control, and the T's are going to back off here. Look at Patrick on the backstab. He could win this round if he can bottleneck them all in. 1 player spotted, burst through, takes him down. Does not. He actually does catch off the bomb partner. Excuse me, Nate. Up a secondary kill coming in, 2-on-2. Player a suicide, and Patrick isolated 1v1s coming in, cross the board. AK recovered, and this was a 4-on-2. Now a 1-on-2. Goofy surely must be out of the round from here.
This was a 5-on-2. This is insane. I can't believe PACT are in this position. Patrick is going to get traded into the 1 versus 1. How have they brought this back? They could honestly win this. If Han rotates to B and just has the gamble, then he's going to be in a really great position. And Goofy's just going to go quicker to this B bomb site, try and see if he can get that bomb down, force the 1 versus 1 attempt to come through. As soon as he puts that smoke down, that gives away his position. They know it has to be B.
It's still going to be a 1-on-1 retake with an AWP on that CT side. An AWP in, looking towards site. Goofy has a footstep, but he's not going to land the shot. It's Han instead to get the final kill and keep the undefeated streak alive. 8 to the T side, CT side board. But again, that was a 4-on-2, a 5-on-2, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And they still conceded it again. Darko with these 2 opening frags, but I don't know if we'll see the mistake here towards that top mid area. Hold on. Again, just look at the number of 1v1 duels that Patrick was given basically by this T side.
Why is that car player swinging him? Just play together. Like, this is just simple Counter-Strike. The fact that they get 2 fantastic openings out from Darko, Muniz gets an AWP kill, and Patrick does so much work all by himself and does not get traded for the longest amount of time. PACT, man, this is really disappointing. 8-0 Fate. You're scratching your head thinking, how the hell did they just clutch back a 2-on-5?
I couldn't tell you, man. Neither can T-side. They're out with the rifles once again. And Blocker will try and make his way down towards that pit position. But Fate have already won the half here. From here, PACT are looking for 7 rounds to recover. And there'll be 7 in a row if they can't even do that much. Fate have been looking so unstoppable, and PACT have been making so many mistakes to allow those unstoppable rounds to come through. Nade on. Damage done to 2 players. Not much of it on Lunatic and Darko, but it is a start for the CT side.
They've gained a lot of map control here at the moment for PACT, having a single lurk over towards the B site, seeing if they can get anyone caught off aggressively. And 2 players with the bomb out towards short. Mara is actually very aggressive. He's going to try and play around this smoke. Could even try and push through it.
And 4, this is going to be so risky, but if he gets it, he walks right past the T-side player, does turn 180, and does get the kill. Lunatic can respond though, 4 on 4, AWP for Maniz, watching the top window, nade on, and Patrick is ready for this entry from 2 players. They line up for him, but he can't get the kills. They are low on 1, but eventually they will drop Nicky, so it's all left a blocker, and it looks like PACT will have finally done it here. A retake which must be so difficult for Blocker, using his only flashbang to force the AWP back into the upper tunnels. Further utility coming in to stop him from making aggression. And there it is. The 16-0 dream is done as PACT to get their first on the T side. Finally,
PACT are going to be able to convert a very convincing round. Now, what we see there is a bit of a fake attempt coming out. They take the short face. We see Mar over-aggressing, and I don't know if that was intended for the mid to B split, but considering there was only 2 players at short, Mar gets a lot of information that there's not really too much of a commitment here. And PACT, they go fast out through Xbox, out through mid, go in for the mid to B, and will Fate, they try and defend on the B bomb site, but just get overwhelmed with some of the entries. And finally, Jay, a much needed round comes. I'm even surprised that Mar gets a kill. Big round, very big round for the Poles, but they need to be able to convert more. They need to get some momentum going. They need to just find something in this first half.
Smoke's down, flashes over Lunatic with the AK, going to try and aggress and again try to look for the opening kill through that smoke. Mar aggressing here against Darko. He's tagged up early. That's 1 and 2 kills, maybe even 3. And once again, PACT giving up the 1v1s. He's going to try to isolate a 4th of the AWP. He knows exactly where he is. He's got bomb control, but they all just ran around the corner, unable to get a flash in, unable to blind off Mar. And again, 1-by-1 faces. This is a round already over.
Oh, Mar, that is so insane. Maniz, they know where he is. Patrick to take him down, and Lunatic, well, he's the last one left, and well, he's already given his position away out towards the pit face. And Fate, you pretty much expect here that not even a single player is going to be able to go down. Oh my, that round was over very, very quickly. And you're right, like, where were the flashes? Mar was just not blind. Wow. Unreal.
4 kills.
Yeah. Damn, son.
I mean, I don't even want to... I'm not even impressed at Mar for that. I'm just more stupefied that PACT would just do this. No flash around the corner. 1-by-1 face with the low HP player going first as well. Like, and just look at his HP number towards the end of it. He had like 91 points of health. Like, he was in such a good position. And watch it again. Just nothing. Just nothing from PACT.
Well, actually, looking at the economy basis, it looked like they'd either used all their flashes or they just didn't have any. I'm not really sure what happened there. But yeah, you're certainly right. They were too spread in the 1v1 faces. They weren't peeking together, and well, he's just going to dry run out from CT. A little bit of a desperation play, but it works out at least finding an opening advantage.
This time there is no utility for this T camp, as you mentioned. This time it actually is guaranteed. The Molotovs and the flashes coming out to execute towards the A side. They have to commit to this, and the AK of Goofy will out against the fight of the AK against Blocker. 5 on 3. It looks like they'll secure the bomb site. Will Fate go for a retake this time? But doesn't look like they will. Probably best to hold on to their weapons. And again, contrasting compared to that last round, you saw the 1v1s around that corner. This time they all went as a unit, and they were able to overwhelm the CT side. So that's what we need to see more from PACT. I hope they've learned their lesson from last time.
Yeah, they certainly would have. Realizing the fact of, you know, at least trying to get a bit of a read on the situation. You can certainly tell that on this T side, they're not looking comfortable at all. They're on edge a lot of the time. Probably very nervous considering the kind of scoreline that's already been put against them. Well, at least they do deal with quite a lot of players from the Fate side, limiting the economy. I mean, considering how many rounds Fate have been able to put up, Jay, their economy is not great.
I mean, that's to be fair to the PACT side, because they have been able to make these rounds relatively close when they've been losing them. So the one confident round they get out is going to be enough to force the issue. And yeah, M4's out, AWP in for Han. AWP for Maniz as well, can't quite take the mid face in the first shot through the mid doors. Look at Blocker completely blind up to the T-side. See him? Yes, they do. He still gets his kill. And Nicky and Larkin combine through the smokes, dropping everybody. And PACT are once again decimated on their initial default.
One thing I've noticed, right, is when PACT win around, I don't know what Fate say to each other, but they just destroy in the following. The long commitment that comes out, and, well, yes, there were a couple of duels that maybe Fate could have been able, or PACT could have win out, but, I mean, it's just decimation. And he's got a free bomb site, but he's got no bomb. Able to at least find one pick, but that gives away his position. Fate, they're going to be looking at being able to get double digits on their 10th round.
How is he going to fight out of this? It's an ace clutch for Maniz. Most likely to save the AWP. You can see Han's got his AWP trained on towards the mid door though, so that slow ping is going to be enough to end off his life. So 10-2, dominant from Fate. And how's the money going to be looking for the T side here? Will they be able to force an investment back again? I mean, considering how much they poured into that last round, be a little bit awkward, but I think the rifle should come out across the board. Yeah. No AWP. Scout for Maniz and limited utility. It's still a buy though, and that could be something for PACT, but honestly, I feel like they need something a lot more confident coming out. Fate, 8 rounds in the lead. Will it be at least 5 by the end of this half?
8 rounds of difference, and really for PACT, they're hoping for something. This is a really strong CT side of Dust 2 coming out from Fate, playing with so much confidence. Being able to have so many AKs in a lot of these rounds makes a big difference. And pretty passive stuff coming out. They're slowly starting to take the short control. Now, I don't really know what the play is here, but the bomb is alone out towards the car out through the longhouse. So maybe potentially a split into the A bomb site. And Fate's actually got no one here aggressive on short. They've often played the AWP of Han around that short position on the little edge of the wall, but this time around he's repositioned over to car.
Going to the open here, a long control. Darko's going to drop in towards CT spawn. They're going to go for a mid to be split. This AWP is smoked off. 2 rifles here to isolate. Darko's going to get that 1 kill on Patrick, and now all that's left is Nicky alone and low HP. Will get taken out by Goofy. Mar will try a swing in towards mid, take a bit of damage. And the AK, a blocker, will take the man down. So a 4 versus 3 situation. Favored to the T side. Do Fate go in for a retake? They've got 1 player still to deal with here towards CT spawn. AK of Darko playing carefully. Han gonna start moving in. There's no idea he's there. Gonna get forced to back off as Darko peeks in. Kill comes out for Blocker. Darko's still gonna try strike on towards him though. And I think the CTs are gonna opt to back off from here. They've done enough damage. Looking to save their AKs and their single AWP.
A great round coming out from PACT, and well, it kind of all falls apart for Fate when they think it's a short face. So they put up a little bit of utility out from short. They drop a player in towards CT, and for one of the players, I believe it was Patrick, he was kind of keeping an eye on through the CT position, but then he got swung out from mid. So it was actually a very good distraction coming out from the poles. And when they're able to pick up their 3rd. So look, this comeback is certainly doable, but I need to see more from them in terms of confidence, in terms of momentum. They've got to at least get 5 rounds on T. That is an absolute necessary element if they want to allow this comeback to come through. I mean, they could potentially reset the money line completely for Fate that they won't have a buy going into the last round.
Darko, AK out here towards the blue box, and Blocker takes that opening kill for the CT camp. M4 for Mar will spray back. Try and do some damage, but unable to get the kills for it. The AWP of Han. It's up towards this ramp position. Ready and raring to receive anyone coming in from short. PACT have already lost that opening kill, as they commonly tend to do, and you know, as they very few times done so far in this series, able to turn it around. And Fate are just going to play slow and silent in this moment. They're not going to let PACT get any sort of information about this. Just go for the execution and try to shut it down from there.
I'll tell you what, the Cities are in a bit of a weird angle at the moment. So they're kind of having two players cross-firing out from long and a player in CT. So realistically, if PACT go for the short commitment and try and get to this A bomb site, it's really going to have to just be a retake setup coming out for the CTs.
Lunatic in position here with the AK his way towards that mid position. Mara is ready to shut him right down. 5 on 3. And here come the T side out of the gate. Harm with the AWP pick. Good shot from Goofy. Second phase in. And second player down. Completely blind by the flash. And Mara will close it out for his 2K. 11 on the board for Fate. Easy shooting for the big green gun.
And you got to think, right, like, where are the flashes to try and force him off the angle? He got flashed once. And that was after he was already able to establish that first kill. PACT, I've just not been impressed by their T side whatsoever. Very, very poor. Just making a lot of simple mistakes, and Fate have just been able to punish them so many times. 11-3. Could this be a 12th up for the Fate squad? Muniz. Well, this is fast.
That's a good kill. That's a good start. Look how aggressive he is towards CT spawn. Mar probably doesn't expect this. Neither does Han. Good kill. Third frag, not quite 4. But he's done his damage. Patrick's isolated to the B bomb site. They know where the last 2 CTs are at. They know that Mar is so low with this AWP in his hands. They can execute in towards the A bomb site. They have got pistols versus those rifles. Nade's not quite connecting to the AWP. Will he go for the Kelly shot? No, he won't. He'll just concede that bomb site. Back over, going for a no-scope flick. Darker's going to take him down. All left to Patrick left. AK on 1. Not seeing the second player, and Lunatic will shut it down. So PACT, a very fast and aggressive round. Much better at the end of the half, but still 11-4. Fate have gained such an advantage above PACT. They've got to do so much to bring this back.
That was actually very cheeky coming out from Muniz, trying to sneak his way in through CT. And I mean, look at those rounds. Look how back and forth they were. There was not a single time the PACT were able to get 2 rounds in a row. It was like as soon as they win one, they get destroyed. They win one, they get destroyed. And it was just back and forward. Now that Fate don't mind that because they still got 11 rounds at the end of that first half.
Yeah, I mean, that's a CT half as well, by the way. Okay, ball of a time. We talk a little bit about the top performers in that last map. I think the guy that we were highlighting the most was a Sobel from PACT. Well, Mar on 21 kills in just 15 rounds. I mean, speaking of Sobel, he's only gotten 3 kills so far on his T side. So, like, where has he gone? Where has PACT gone as a whole?
Well, the thing is, they lacked in a lot of confidence on that T side. They really struggled in finding the opening kills. PACT were just shutting them. Fate was shutting them down in so many opportunities, and unfortunately, they didn't really ever get the economy rolling. We saw so many times where it was like, you know, you buy, you eco, you buy, you eco. We never really saw the economy ever get to a stage where it was built for the PACT side. And look at the amount of AKs that Fate had. There was rounds where they were having 2-3 AKs for pretty much most of that first half. And when you've got AKs on the City side, it makes it so difficult. It's such a big advantage. And for PACT, I mean, mentally, they're pretty much just out of this map, I would say. Really struggled in that first half to really find anything. Going forward, they need to win Pistol. They need to get off to a good start.
Either that or just look towards Inferno and try to win that map. That's the other option.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, ideally, they just go into this CT half and start swinging out the gate. They try and buy their best chance because, like, to rely on a third map exclusively to keep yourselves alive, it's not exactly the ideal strategy. And again, this is the final round of the Swiss system. So the winner of these matches today will end up moving forward into the playoffs. The loser will have to fall out. So for PACT, kind of an important one to win right here. Pistol round coming through. The defuse kit and double flash for Lunatic for this one. Fate is going to have themselves the P250 and smoke flash for Nikki. No raid boss out for the T-side forces, so they can very easily pick that up. That's a yikes. That is a yikes from me. 10-1 on the odds for PACT. That is insane. Mar out the gate. Tap up. First kill. And I guess you can see why those odds are that one-sided.
Well, PACT. At least they traded back into a 4-4. And they're going to hear a lot of these footsteps up from short. So we'll be able to give that information up to his teammates. Now, Muniz, if he can take down Nikki, that's going to be the flank going down. But no, the T-side win that out, and they gain the man advantage.
Big frags to find. Lunatic will find a trade back on Nikki, though. Bomb plant to be secured here. 3-on-2 for the retake. Kit still in for Lunatic. Darker first man up. Han seen both for the CT forces, so now Fate can adjust against him here. Blocker. Failing the flashbang coming in. The second one of 2 being used up. Taps up, doing damage towards him. Patrick gets the kill on Darko. Lunatic last man left with the defuse kit in the back line. Tapped up. Blocker gets enough bullets into him to take that kill. Team ace for Fate and 12 to the T-side board.
Well, we spoke about PACT needing to win the pistol round. That was certainly not the case. Those were some really great trades coming back. What I love as well from Fate is they're not afraid to try and take the fight. We see Han in the bomb plant. It's a 3-on-2. They could have just played passive on the side, but no. You know, he's quite aggressively. He gets the information of both players coming out from short. He falls down and establishes a crossfire with his teammates. And there even is Darko getting tagged up from the scout. And quite a lot of AKs to work with for Fate rather than using those SMGs. 3 AKs to work with. And a 4 spy coming out for the poles. They need to find something here, Jay.
A good kill there from Patrick. Does find the opener instead for Fate. The scout from Maniz will try working here to the mid position. Try to get some sort of headshot. Scout out from from Darko, I should say. Over on the B bomb site defense. Deagle out for Sobel. Does catch off 1 good kill. AK recovered for him. Can you do any more damage against Nikki? I mean, it's an easy kill to find. Indeed, he does get that headshot out against the Mac 10, but Mar can respond in kind. So can Darko with a nade on sight. Ball will make his way in. Scout seen. Blocker takes down the man there at the CT side. But look at Han down that mid, down to the T spawn in the mid position. Like they push the bomb straight in. They're going to go towards A. This is going to be a very late rotation.
Yeah, look, this is really awkward because it's certainly going to take a lot of time. Now, if PACT start to aggress up through mid, there's certainly a potential that they'll see that bomb crossing unless Blocker puts his head down. But the thing is, there's no way he even gets to Longhouse, right? They're going to hear these footsteps. This round's... Ooh. They fell back at the wrong time. That's so insane. If Sobel would have just pressed a little bit aggressively, that round was pretty much over.
The timing on that...
Yeah.
Literally could not be worse. Bomb plant for Han now. And PACT are going to quickly realize that this is not a B site take. They will make their way in, not hit any of the ticking time bomb. How do they play this from here? Do they just save these 2 AKs? I mean, they did go for a 4 spy. They did have pistols out. And yeah, they do. Back up in the B window, back up towards the upper tunnels. They're going to wait for this. A lot of damage done to Fate, so they can be proud of that much, but they could have found so much more in that round, missed opportunities, and I'm sure in the demo review they'll take a look at that and just be like, man, why didn't we just go a little bit further?
Well, that's the thing, is sometimes timing just, it's one of the things in Counter-Strike where you can just be so unlucky. I mean, yeah, you're right. If Sobel would have just continued going up towards the top mid area, they would have heard those footsteps. They would have been able to take that bomb down from Blocker, but... Yeah, look, PACT, they didn't do anything wrong there. They just had a lack of information, and, you know, the luck was certainly not on their side. 13-4, Fate. I mean, they're going to have all the confidence going into Inferno, right? Like, if they can take this 16-4, maybe 16-5, 16-6, they'll be like, damn, we put up 14 rounds on that first map. We absolutely slapped them on Dust 2. Going into Inferno, this is our series.
Yeah, with Fate getting so close on that map pick of PACT, I mean, it's just like, you know, in the context of the Grand Series, it definitely shows that they've been the stronger team so far. A 9-round deficit for the lead of Fate. With rifles out, I don't think PACT can buy up around this. If they do, they're certainly going to be taking it down to the wire. Possibility of an overtime. Of course, the AK is across the rest of the board of the T-camp. Mac 10 in for Nikki, scout out for Han. Not going to see anything as they cross. We'll just fire blindly, hope for the best. Incendiary in against blocking. Fakes away for the flashbang. Does turn back for the first kill, though. That's Goofy. The first AK drop. Mani's going to swing out with the USP, grab that AK instead. Flashbang will keep him blind. Does not see Blocker. He's allowed to exit safely on 4 HP. He stays alive.
Oh, so bull. I love this aggression coming out from short. And they're able to capitalize on that first kill. Maru's at least going to be able to trade it back. So bull finds a second and he extends for a third, Jay. The confidence in this man to just keep looking for kills.
And somehow get away with them all. AK on Nikki now as the third AK gets picked up by the CT forces. Darko now with a rifle. Nikki leans forward, the bomb's going to get picked up by Blocker, pushing into the long house. This could be disastrous. Backstab's coming in, information has been gained. Sobel's going to get hurt out by the C-side forces. He still gets his spray for a 4K. Beautiful stuff from him on shore and on the defense, and PACT turn around a very unlikely eco.
Damn, okay. That was a very, very interesting round, and well, I love the aggression. Sobel is, it's great to see the confidence from him to be able to have such a big round, 4 kills in the end. And well, for Fate, wow, I don't know if I like this. I mean, they would have had enough money to buy into the next round, but Bulgarian CS means they don't save. They always force, and it's something that, you know, we have seen for many, many years now. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but look, Fate, they've got something up their sleeve in this round.
Bates. Very awkward buy here. The Deagles in. Tech 9 for Blocker and the P250 for Nikki. Difficult buy against the AKs out of the CT side. Shoulder baits from Lunatic, going to try spot for information. Nades on from Sobel. Nice damage done towards Nikki, Han and Patrick. Nothing significant, but it is a start once again. The T side will make their way on towards the short execution.
PACT set up with 2 players quite deep into the site for the moment. Fate still trying to figure out where they're going at this point. Looks like it could be the mid to B play coming in. Oh, that incendiary at least tries to buy a little bit of time for the execution.
Smokes down Lunatic, getting out a dodge here. He realizes the T-play players coming in for the mid to be split. Patrick with the bomb, first man out, first man down. Spray for the second, third, and the fourth. Nice and easy. Tech 9 from Blocker, dealt with by Darko. And PACT now looking confident.
Okay, this is looking really good from PACT. Finally, it seems like this is probably the only point where we're actually starting to see some confident rounds coming through. 2 rounds in a row that have been very successful. And well, now for Fate, yeah. They're just going to have no money, so they will get 2,400 in the next round. So we will see the rifles being upgraded. Oh, this HE can do some damage. Oh, big chunk onto Mar.
No Kevlar and anti-eco round coming in. You would expect that at this stage. Kill from Nick actually does start off the round overall, but now on the knees. And Sobel here with the crossfire. Second, takes out 1. Another frag, and Darko there towards mid will clean up the last of the T-side forces. So 7 to the border, PACT 13-7 is our scoreline, and now within 6 of that lead. The AK is on the board now for the T-side. Still no AWP potential, but even so, they need a good round to start putting some rounds back on the board and start wearing down PACT, because the economy is starting to really build for the CT side.
Yeah, it certainly is. Fate need to get an answer, and they need to get an answer now. 6 rounds is going to be the difference between the 2 sides, and well, it looks to be at least fast play coming out from mid from Nikki. This is an extremely quick mid to be. Lunatic not landing the shot with a secondary AWP, and when he gets punished for it, that speed bomb site completely opened up. This is going to be a save attempt from PACT. Whoa, yeah, that was quick, and yeah, that is just too fast.
Yeah, they all stacked up the A bomb site there from the CT forces, leaving only 1 man there to defend it, and Lunatic. If he got a couple of good kills, then maybe they could have justified a retake, but yeah, no sense in throwing away those weapons, especially the AKs, which they can't get back. So keep a hold of those weapons for another good round. I know it's a 5 versus 4, and I know that they got a ton of money here for the CTs. Exit frags could do more damage in the long term. Even 1 kill with them being on hundreds of dollars or so be damaging to the Fate buy up here as they go hunting. Mar will be second casualty. Blocker going to try and challenge the AWP. We'll see him, but can't. Well, actually does take him down at the end. 3-on-3 scenario as Blocker does fall, so actually has 3 casualties saved by the T side. PACT gaining so much out of that save.
They certainly do. I mean, unfortunately, yes, they do a lot of economical damage to the T side, but they kind of give up a 14th round. I mean, you can understand why they didn't go for the retake. Like you said, maybe if it was 1 or 2 kills came out from the secondary AWP or Lunatic, then we could have certainly seen a retake potential, but it's unfortunate. They have a single player at the B bomb site to start the round off, and it's just so fast out through the mid to B. PACT. Not a round they would have liked to have conceded. Hard taking a bit of damage. Actually gets taken down quite low, just standing in the Molotov, waiting for the peak to come out. So a good start in terms of some damage being done for PACT.
AWP's in for the double AWP setup here for the CT side. Still firing away from Han. Incendiaries. And the smoke's down towards that mid position. It's Fate going to try to balance with a bit of map control, try and make their way onto that short position. We've got one player to contact here in Miniz, the AWP of the CT forces. Incendiary back now, going to fall back even further. So Fate should be able to gain that short presence, look for an ace execution. But it's defensive they have to worry about directly.
Fate. All it really takes is just that one big entry kill, and that will be the bomb down on the site, considering the fact that Miniz is really the only one here at this A bomb site. Flashbang coming in. If he peeks at the right time, he'll get a lot of information. This HG could do some damage. Doesn't do a massive amount.
Lucky break for Fate as 5v5 they enter in towards the A bomb site. Good kill from Miniz, still comes in against Patrick. Could have lined up 2. Lines a flick on towards nobody as he misses that shot. Sobel instead with the AK. Looking for Mar next up. Good kill back from the T side to a 4 versus 4. Bomb plant is conceded and Han finds a kill on Miniz. His teammate crosses to bait in the shots. Fate now within touching distance of closing out this map here on for map point. Han looking for more. Nicky going to take some damage. He's making their way up. Darko does get one good frag. Flash over could potentially blind the short players, or peeking in from Gandalf. They know that he's here. He gets that quick shot on. And Goofy were able to trade it back. 2 versus 2. Bomb plant is still out in the open. Someone's got to get to the defuse now. 13 seconds left for the bomb to go up. Tap, stick, all 5 seconds on the kit. No, Blocker swings in, takes that kill. Mar takes the final. And Fate, 15-7 up. Map point for Dust 2.
And, well, it took him a little bit of time, but they got there in the end. And really, for Miniz, you can't really put all the blame on him, but he didn't have enough support there with that AWP. And, well, the retake, it just did not come out quick enough. The trade kills did not come out quick enough. At least for PACT, the money line's still good. So they're able to get a very decent buy-in for round 23. The double ups still come out. And Fate, could they go for the fast mid play, at least out for Mar?
Fast B play instead. Lunatic. A ton of damage done. No kills. 5 on 4. B site is already open. The bomb's still out towards this long presence, though. They're going to rotate very fast in with the CT4, so I think you may be right. I think it may still be a fake play on towards short and long, and still Patrick's here. Mac 10 to play sacrifice. And the CTs are not going to get a beat on this, and they're not going to be able to discover this just yet. Patrick can't afford to get overly aggressive. The longer he waits and baits, they're going to see them crossing. They know what's up. They know it's a fake, but Patrick's still in play. He can find a backstab against the CT side.
Unfortunately, he's only got a Mac 10. If he keeps Lunatic at bay, that's all he needs to do. Try and keep the AWP here. And this is going to help the rotations be a lot slower. Fate already taking the short. Look how aggressive Blocker is.
And he's getting a pick back for the CT forces. And Block around the corner, gets one, no second. Nicky will fall next up. And PACT look to stay alive here for the moment. An 8th on that CT board as the retake comes in successful, but just by the skin of their teeth.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Well, that was an interesting fake, to say the least. I mean, they certainly pulled the rotations over. The problem was, though, Jay, the retake was very successful for PACT. They were able to get a lot of trade kills, and, well, for Fate, I actually really like that. That was a really nice round from them, but it didn't quite have the full finesse.
Look at the M4 up here. The Pistols out for Fate, out towards his mid position. Sobel's going to catch him off Lunatic, getting that kill back to or frag. Sobel ends up with 2 of his own. Darko, knowing where the last T-side player is towards this tunnels area. The bomb's been dropped to the CT side, so this is going to be an easy 9th, excuse me, for the PACT camp. And rush tactics on these pistols, only looking just to end off this round quick and look towards the main rifles. Harm will need to go down to get the money bonus here, and I mean, they're not going to be saving much here with the pistol and Kevlar. Yeah, really big set of rounds here for PACT to find. The loss bonus is going to be a little bit wrecked for Fate, but again, the buy should come through. It'll be awkward on the buy. But a buy nonetheless here for the T side.
And knowing Fate, they'll probably buy this. I mean, they could probably play the smart game and just half buy, considering the fact they've got still 6 rounds to work with. And, well, they're probably taking a tactical with Bibby, you know, kind of talking things over, realizing, okay, like, we can buy here. It does mean Patrick's not going to have the best of buys. It means if we get the AKs out, we're not going to have much utility out for Nikki and Blocker. We can get the AWP out for Han. So these are just some, you know, things that are going to be thought about. Now, seeing that scout upgrade, that just tells me immediately it's going to be a half buy. They're going to play the long game. And I tell you what, it is actually pretty smart, knowing the fact that, you know, if you force into this and you lose the round, then your economy is just going to get worse and worse going forward. At least this way, you may have been able to get a decent full buyout, but round 26, you'll get the full buy, the complete package.
And they've still got a little bit of a buffer to work with, so that's a very viable strategy here for Fate, so discussing whether or not they go for that. Have bought some utility and upgrades here and there, but with the pistol upgrades and the scout coming out, it does look like that, yeah, you're right. It will be an eco half buy, saving up to the big rifles in round 26. And PACT still with a few more chances to turn this 2-0 on its head. You know, they are still a map up in this series. Fate are the ones that need to fight back and take us to that third. It's funny too, because at the halftime or close towards it, we were talking about PACT checking out of this map up and just saying, hey, do you know what, maybe they're looking towards Inferno as the third map and figuring out whether they can come back from there.
It's all maybes. It's all what ifs. That's the thing, right? Is it's like, even the confidence being built, even if they put up 12, 13 rounds, even if they don't win this map, Fate are going to be thinking like, guys, how did we give them so many rounds?
Same could also be said for Vertigo when they were within inches of taking the whole thing to OT. It's like, hey, these could have been some very good results for us. This could have been some, you know, this could have been a 2-0 for our side instead. And all these thoughts bearing down upon the Fate side, like, what if? What if these had happened? What if things had gone our way just a little bit better? On a couple of different occasions, but minute to the clock here for the time being, and they're just focused on trying to get this final round over the edge. Smokes down Sobel with the AWP. T-side make their way on toward the site, spray in for one. That's nowhere to the second T-side player out there. Nicky will get that kill. Maniz will respond, look for his second frag. Nice and easy for the triple. Not quite, actually. The scout get a headshot back, and a bomb plant can be secured. So a little bit of bonus money here for Fate, but they should get cleaned up with a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, it's a good round. You know, trying to limit the economy a little bit for the PACT side, see if you can get a bomb plan in. And for Mark, and certainly still make this a little bit interesting with the Deagle onto the site. 1 versus 3 attempt, now make it a 1 versus 2, but he's so low, Jay. Just 2 points of health. It's just going to be a single bullet to take him down, and we'll PACT. They swing together, making sure that they're not giving up any 1v1 duels, and it will be a 10th round now up for PACT. Recovering those double orbs. Obviously the most important element in that round.
And just that flashbang able to throw Sobel into disarray, allow that 1 kill to come in, and then from there make it quite an expensive round for PACT, all things considered. Again, bomb plant plus economical damage, with the money line being the way that it is for PACT. If they can get a good rifle round, make it very expensive in the next one, then, you know, Fate will be on to do some significant damage. I imagine, like, you know, 1 player alive in a retake scenario. That's the bomb plant bonus. That'll be another buyback in. PACT may have to concede an AWP or 2. The damage will certainly come up to fruition here. They will still be force buying every round back in this one. As Darko finds that opening kill, it's a good start for the CT side. 5 on 4 for PACT.
That looks to just be a straight spam coming out as Mar gets taken down, and he's the man that's been stepping up, putting up big numbers for Fate. So to take him out in the early game is a huge advantage for the Poles. And now Fate, you could honestly maybe try and see them getting some 1v1 Angels, see if they can use their raw firepower to bring it back into a 4-on-4. Beniz is here quite aggressive with the AWP up towards short. And what? First of all, he wasn't flashed. And second of all, how does Han win out that fight?
Somehow. That's the best I got for you, Twig. 4-on-4. And a big kill for Han to find there. Entering in towards that short position, now entering on towards the bomb site. He catches off Lunatic as well. Suddenly this is starting to fall apart for PACT. Goofy, Darko, and Soibel, the last 3 players left for the CT camp. M4 for Goofy, bursts in, so does Soibel. Get up towards site, spray through Nicky, does not quite go as well as he wants it to. Now Goofy and Darko, last 2 players left. You turn it back to a 2 versus 2, but Nicky's still on site, creeping around, looking for the headshot angle against one of these CTs. Goofy will give it up to him, last man standing, Darko. Last man left for PACT to try keep us alive, gets himself a 2K. On against one of Han, will shoulder bait, try baiting the AWP kill. Can't quite catch him off though, he sees that foot though. He knows where he is on shore. M4 got to try look for the pick, does damage, takes a spray, can't quite find it. Is that bomb behind cover? No, it's on short. The bursting with the M4 gets the kill. And somehow Darko with his 3K gets an AK and gets 11 for the CT side.
What? I can't believe he wins that, man. That is such a sick clutch coming out from Darko. He was trying to bait out that AWP so many times. I can't even think how many jiggle peaks tried to come out. And in the end, he was just able to finally get to that ramp position. Oh my. And considering that bomb was planted for short, you have to think, like, why is Han just not falling back in that position once he knows he's crossed? He could have just played the time. There was only, what, like 8 seconds left when he stuck the defuse. Man, huge clutch coming out from PACT, and well, it keeps them in the game, Jay.
It does. A big round for PACT to find again. That is the perfect scenario though for the T side to find. They're limiting the utility basis for PACT. If they can keep them damaged up here, then they will be able to force them back to a force buy. For the most part, it's just down to rifle rounds here. Fate may be looking to concede some ecos if PACT get a confident round on the board. And the AKs are out across the board here for the T side. No AWP. And PACT set themselves up here in their standard default defense.
Oh, big HE coming out to Patrick. And, well, for Fate, at least they've still got a fair bit of utility to work with, so they can really start to try and brute force their way into this A bomb site with the short take. They don't have any kind of a lurk. Yes, they've got blocker towards the lower tunnels. Nothing to come out from long. It's really going to be all the short commitment from Fate.
40 seconds, and here comes the utility out. Smokes down towards the short cross. One player back line here towards this car area. That's Miniz with the AWP. The flick towards the first does not quite land. He knows that they've dropped in, looking towards short for a good shot, not quite connecting of his own right. Soibel will catch one player out. CT spawn the peeking from Miniz. Finally lands on one of Han. Scopes in, can't quite find the second. Nicky will trade it, but Goofy quick to arrive to the scene. So is Lunatic with his own AWP. 3-on-2 now. Favor to PACT on this retake. Still a lot of time to go, but it is ticking away. And Mar on site. Backstab from Nicky finds one. Mar's got to hold off against him here. 9 HP. He's not going to last long. They can set the defuse. Nicky can't get here in time. 5 seconds on it, flashbang over, will try force them off. He takes a face, he takes a spray, but he cannot get the kill. As Darko finds the frag of his own right, everybody contributes to PACT staying alive.
Mate, how many more clutches are we going to see coming out from PACT? Another good retake to that A bomb site. And I tell you what, Miniz has been struggling. Like, he's been hitting a couple of okay shots, but missing some crucial ones. And it's good to see that even when Miniz is not completely shutting down that A offensive from Fate, they've got the players on the retake to step up. We see Lunatic with that secondary AWP chiming into the action, but it's the rifles that really stand up tall. With Darko and Soibel on that retake, and well, this is coming down to the wire. Now, at least for Fate, they're going to continue getting max round loss bonus, but if they keep getting bomb plants straight, they will at least be able to keep buying. As long as it gets to that one round where they can win out PACT without a bomb plant going to Fate, that's when the economy is in rubbles.
Or pause being called out here for which side, I don't know. It could be either one at this stage. And PACT. So close. So close to this overtime. And again, with that map in their back pocket, we've got a major chance for them to 2-0. They have to just win out this next comeback to OT. And the rebuy in for Fate. The AK's crossed the board. The smokes, the double flashes in for Patrick and Mar. Smoke molly flash for Nikki as well. And limited utility sets across the entire T-side board. PACT going forward onto Dawn to continue their comeback. Fate still just need a single round. It's going to be a fast play out of the split area. Here comes Nikki in against Sobel. First frag found. 2 CTs here towards the A-side defensive. Minis going to need to be confident as kill on the AWP frags. But they slow down on Fate.
I'm really surprised they slowed down. It looked like they just wanted to heavy commit to that A-bomb site. That was so aggressive to find that opening kill. And these HEs, if they get timed right, could do a hell of a lot of damage. Oh, big chunk onto both Hahn and Blocker. And Goofy, bit of an off angle being held out towards long. Does have a teammate to try and back him up. Fate, it's almost like we've now seen 30 seconds where they've just done nothing. They have slowed this right down.
Yeah, straight out aggression, finding that first kill on Sobel. The damage has come back in for the PACT camp, but will that be enough to turn the frags to their favour? Goofy going to take first contact on Mar. The crosshair's a little bit too low for the headshot. He's ready for Mar to duck down below him, though. Hat-trick ready, flashes over, peek in, spray connects 1, not quite 2. That's going to be a 4 versus 3 now. Fate making their way quickly, slowly, sort of passively, aggressively in towards the bomb site here. Might rotate back towards B. There's only one player here. Lunatic gets 1 headshot, almost lines up the spray to Nikki as well, but 28 HP, he stays alive. And Darko and Moniz will scope in, get Mar back on long, 2-on-2 for the retake.
Oh, and they still think it's an A play, but it's got to be the B-side execution coming out from Fate. Oh, and they've seen that bomb cross. They know the information now. 2 kits and a flash on for the retake. Fate, 1 more round, 1 more post-plan is all they'll need. Flashbang into the side, and it's all down to Moniz.
Orp versus 2. Peek in, does not see Nikki. He knows where Blocker is. His back's turned towards the other backup player. Does he see him? No, he dodges and quick scoop in, lands perfectly, but it's not going to be enough. Nikki with the quick trade, and at long last, Fate will secure their map. 16-12 on Dust 2, and we move over to Inferno for survival for both of these 2 teams, for qualification for both. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this break.
It's amazing how much I love betting on